In this video, we will be discussing analyzing and interpreting data. We'll be focusing on box and whisker plots. By the end of this video, you will be able to create a box and whisker plot. So let's take a look at what a box and whisker plot is. So a box and whiskers plot is a special type of diagram where there is a box, which is this area right here, representing the middle values. And then you have the lines or whiskers, which are these areas right here that extend to the lowest and highest values, or the minimum and the maximum values. So a box plot displays data distributing 5 key numbers, or it is also known as a 5-number summary of data set. So first thing we need to do is we need to order the data from least to greatest, and we do that here. And the first key number is our minimum. And remember that the minimum is the smallest piece of data. And so our smallest piece of data is 34. So that is our first number that we need. Our third number that we're going to need is the median. And remember, when we find the median, we work our way towards the middle. So if I'm crossing off numbers, so there's one from each side, the next, and the next, and it looks like 48 is my middle amount. And so I would put 48 for my median. And then the fifth key number is the maximum, which again is the largest piece of data, and that is here at 50. So those numbers we already know how to find. So the second and fourth key numbers that we're going to need are known as quartiles. A box plot is divided into 4 sections or quarters, and these sections are known as our quartiles. And each section represents 25% of the data. So here's kind of a diagram to take a look at this. So if I look from this dot to this dot, I have 25% of my data. Or if you notice, here's 0/4 to 1/4, and 1/4 is 25%. If I look at my next section, I have from, again, this part here to this part here, again, 25% of my data. And again, I'm going up from 1/4 to 2/4. Again, another fourth jump. And then if I look at my next group or my next little section, I'm going from here to here. And again, 25%. And again, another fourth added. And then I go to my last one. And again, go from here to here. Again, 25%. And again, another fourth jump. So my second key number is called the first quartile, or Q1, the median of the lower half of the data. So when I look at my data here again, I know that my main median for the entire data set is right here, and I found that earlier. So my first quartile is the median of all of the data to the left of that. So I'm going to look at this data right here. And when I do that, I'm going to find my median just the same way I did before. So I'm going to cross off here, cross off here. My middle number is 45. So my quartile 1, or my first quartile number, is 45, because that is the median of the smaller half of my data. If I go to the next one, my fourth key number is the third quartile, or Q3. And this is the median of the upper half of the data. So I'm going to do the same thing as what I did before. I'm just going to look at the upper half of the data here. And again, I'm going to find the median of that. And by doing that, again, I'm going to cross off until I get to the middle. And it looks like 49 is the middle there. So my quartile 3 or third quartile is, oops, excuse me, is 49. So here are my 5 numbers, or my 5 number summary. My minimum value is 34. Quartile 1 is the median or lower half of the data is 45. Median is 48. Quartile 3 is the median of the upper half of the data, which is 49. And my largest value, or my maximum, is 50. I'm going to use those 5 numbers to create my box and whisker plot. So my minimum is at 34. I'm going to draw a line at kind of at 34. And my maximum is at 50. So I will draw a line at 50. My median is at 48. And my quartile 1 is at 45. And my quartile 3 is at 49. So there are all my 5 numbers. And now I'm going to connect my quartile 1 and my quartile 3 with my box. And you notice that the median of 48 is inside that box. And then my line to my minimum and my line to my maximum. And there is your box and whisker plot. So this, again, this number is your minimum. This number is your maximum. This is your quartile 1. This is your quartile 3. And this is your median. Let's take a look at a box and whisker plot and getting our 5 number summary from that. So again, my minimum is my smallest value, which would be right here. So that looks like that is 11. My quartile 1 is the beginning of my box, and so that number is right here. So quartile 1 looks probably like it is 12 on this number line. And then my median is my middle amount for my entire data. That's inside the box, so that's right here. And that looks like that is 14. My quartile 3 comes from my end of my box, which is right here. And that looks like that's probably 16. And then my maximum is the end of my other whisker, which is right here. And that looks to be 18. So there is using my box and whisker plot to come up with my 5 number summary.